Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. Follow us.
Inspector Karen Lowndes works the West Auckland area for the SPCA. Today she's making her monthly routine check at the Q New sales.
41.52. We come along today just a routine check, basically. We need to check that all the sheep are in good condition, body condition, that there's none with broken legs or severe facial eczema, and also who they've been sold to, that they're transported correctly.
Karen is keeping her eye on this man who is trying to buy just one animal.
Well, usually people who buy one sheep, it's a sure sign that they're going to slaughter it and eat it. So any one single sheep that's sold, I will follow through. Sometimes they're lambs and people take them home to bottle feed them, and sometimes it's not. You know, sometimes it is obvious they're slaughtering it. I don't mind that happening as long as it's done humanely and it's not done in a garage or a backyard. It
seems Karen's suspicions have proved correct. The man she was watching has purchased a single ram for $20.
He's bought him, so I'm going to go and I'll find out what he's bought him for. I would have offered them 20, but I don't think we've got any space at work. Hello. Karen from the SPCA. How are you? Just a quick question. I see that you bought one of the rams today.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a couple of things. Were you taking it home today?
Yes.
Are you going to how are you going to transport it? Because you can't transport it. It needs to be in a trailer.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got a trailer? Have you got a truck and trailer?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Is it here?
With my friend.
Your friend's coming. Oh, okay, lovely. That's cool. So you've had that organised. Cool.
Mohammed explains the ram will be the main course at a festival to mark the end of Ramadan in a month's time.
Well, we'll wait until your friend comes. Lovely, thank you. Is this your vehicle here?
Yes.
Lovely, thank you. I'm worried about why he's grabbed that stuff out of the rubbish bin, because they often use that for tying their legs. He said that the ram will be transported in a month's time for a festival up to Ham Road, where a lot of them transport the animals up there and they're slaughtered on that rural property there, Halal Way. So, which is okay, but we need to establish where the ram's going to be for the next month.
Karen's going to check on the cattle, but she'll also be keeping an eye on the ram to make sure he isn't taken for a ride without her approval. Back at the SPCA hospital, John's arrived with a German Shepherd who appears to have been hit by a car.
He went to after hours last night, so somebody brought him into the emergency hospital. He looked like he'd been hit by a car. They thought he had a spinal injury because he wasn't using his hind legs, and they medicated him and kept him overnight and transferred him here. When I first saw him, I noticed this. These legs are really straight, and when I try to bend them, I can't. And this is what's called a Sharrington posture, and it only happens, well, it's generally indicative that you have a lower thoracic injury, so in your thorax area, and they generally don't come back from something like this.
The dog has a registration tag, but the SPCA has not been able to find the owner.
We've tracked it back through to Waitakere. The dog that belongs to this number is apparently dead, and it was also a German Shepherd. So I'm hoping that we've got the details of the owner, and we've left messages on his phone for him to contact us.
While John tries to track down the owner, X-rays are taken to determine if the dog's injuries are treatable.
Unfortunately, nothing too exciting on the radiographs. There's some questionable areas, nothing that jumps out and bites us.
The pinch test for deep pain sensation can indicate how badly the spinal cord is damaged.
It doesn't have what we call deep pain sensation in its hind foot. So if there's no deep pain sensation, what that means is that nerve fibre is not intact or may not be intact from the brain to the foot, which means that it may well be severed. It is very bad prognostically to have no deep pain sensation in that foot.
Yeah, I feel quite upset about this dog. He should have been contained on its property at night. I was wandering the streets late last night on Mount Wellington Highway, which is quite a busy street, and got bowled by a car. And it's always frustrating. It's quite upsetting to see a dog. It's actually been looked after quite well. It's in good body condition, but to see him in such pain is quite disturbing. Yeah.
It's obvious to everyone this dog is a loved pet, so John's hoping he can find the owner in time. SPCA inspectors have been climbing the walls at a shop in Takapuna. A couple of kittens have fallen into the wall cavity. After punching a number of holes, one kitten's been rescued by Inspector Todd Neal, but cries from within the wall indicate more could be found.
I've managed to hear the kitten up through this bit, and it's down just in here. So we're moving over from our previous holes and going to attempt to get in here. Okay, I'm going in. Hole number 8. Sorry, kitten. Hello?
Oh, I heard him. Oh, cool.
I can't see it, I can hear it. See if it'll grab my head.
We need a stethoscope.
Oh, there it is. It was on the next floor down.
In women's lingerie.
Yeah. Probably didn't appreciate all that plaster I dropped on it then.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, mate.
He's now
Come on.
brushing it out of his fur.
Please be friendly and this, that
Yeah,
one.
and I'll come up and grab him from you.
Cute kitten.
Another tabby one.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no, but a goodie.
Oh, black and white.
Look at me.
Grey and white.
Look at it. Gorgeous.
Oh, I'm scared.
Come meet your friend. Come on, mister.
Hey, little kitten.
Oh, you are. Oh, sorry, I just blown the stuff out of your eyes. 2 kittens, 8.5 holes, 4.25 holes per kitten. In really good condition, like they're not dehydrated at all. Got little fat bellies on them. So they'll just go into base now and get checked out and go out to foster until they're big enough to be adopted.
But they are shop soiled.
This is not the first time a litter of kittens has come from within these walls.
Happened, yeah, in about February this year. Except further down, on the same wall, but further along. They got some kittens out of the wall then as well, with the help of the fire service. Well, we're thinking about telling them to make a climbing wall for small children with the holes. See, just need a couple more like that and you'll be sweet.
At the QMU sales, the ram bought for a Ramadan feast is still waiting to be picked up. Its new owner has been told by the SPCA he must organise safe transport before he can take it away.
Hey, are you transporting that sheep for Mohammed by any chance? Did he ask you though? Yeah, he did. No, that's okay. He's obviously just trying to work out some way of transporting it at the moment. It's just the one ram. Is that all he's brought? Yeah. Yeah, the nice looking one. Okay, no problem. He's obviously still trying to organise some transportation.
Karen's also been checking the cattle but hasn't seen too much to concern her.
Just got some cattle here that have recently been dehorned. The rules are quite specific, with around 27 days, I think, before they should be transported. Some of them are still bleeding slightly, so I would pick around maybe 4 days, which is a little early. So I'll look into who owns the cattle and the reasoning behind their here on day 4 instead of day 27. These cattle over here have also been done recently, some of them, but they look like they'd be slightly older wounds where the blood has started to dry up.
Karen makes some inquiries about the cattle's horns at the sales office.
It appears the cattle were dehorned here and have been staying here. They won't be transported today, they will be sold, but they will be staying out in the paddocks here for the full length of the time. Likewise with the other ones, they seem to be okay. They were done considerably longer time ago. They're still here. You're still here, boy.
Come the end of the sales day, the ram is still there, but the buyer has disappeared.
It appears that Mohammed has left. He hasn't paid and he didn't register. So I guess it's like a day for the ram.
Karen would have liked to explain to Mohammed the regulations concerning the transport of animals.
It is a big deal. The sheep are transported, you know, they can often stay in the boot for a long time. It's not just today. If it's not convenient for them to go home and put the sheep in the garage, they can stay in the boot of the car. Often the sheep are strung up prior to killing. I think that he is going to slaughter it and realises he's not allowed to do that, so he's just left when I wasn't looking. Which is a shame because I didn't really fully get to talk to him and educate him.
The German Shepherd hit by a car has survived the night.
We were and whether the dog was comfortable and whether it was humane to keep the dog alive. But sort of by 5 o'clock last night he was improving, so we decided to hold him another 24 hours and then the owners come forward, so we're really happy we kept on to him, yeah.
His name's Lucan, and I've had him for he's about 12 and a half now. He has little habits of going on walkabouts, but you've managed to get away with it for 12 years so far, haven't you? And he wasn't home on Friday morning. So then I started to get a bit worried. I was very worried. And I was actually just hoping that you were in jail.
I'm just happy the owner's here to spend time with the dog and yeah, whatever way it goes, yeah, the owner's here, so at least it's not going to die by itself.
You're like my child, aren't you? What human being can give you this amount of unconditional love, you know? It's just... it's all you want, eh? You don't care what I look like if I'm in a bad mood. You're just always happy to see me, eh? Every day. 12 years, eh, boy?
Because Janine has come forward, she is required to take her dog to her own vet for further diagnosis. She may face some tough decisions if the injuries are as serious as the SPCA fear. Much of the SPCA's work concerns cats and dogs, but just once in a while they get called out to save something quite extraordinary.
He's been going through the fences, he's well scratched.
It's definitely had a rough time.
The emu had been seen on the loose in this area for the last few days, but today it's been found on this farm unable to walk.
It's got a covering of fat on it, it's not emaciated.
Todd from the SPCA doesn't know a lot about emus, but bird specialist and local farmer Robbie Peters does.
It's just like he's plucked himself a wee bit. But...
no, they do this this is scraping from hitting, going through fences and getting tangled up in the wiring.
Robbie's offered his farm as a place of recuperation for the bird. His property houses 6 emus and several other varieties of bird life.
We're just going to put it head first into this bag with its head coming out of here and then tie up the other end.
Oh, okay.
And these bags are strong enough to immobilise the legs.
Cool.
So and it's quite good. It's actually quite a stress-free method of transporting them because otherwise they'll thrash around and
that's right,
because they panic. Right, now what we'll do...
At the height of the emu farming craze, this bird might have fetched $15,000. Nowadays, many are unwanted and are released or shot.
Either the person who's lost it has got more birds than they've counted, or they haven't noticed it's gone, or they don't care. Probably the latter. They're probably quite happy for it to have gone and just want to ignore it and let the problem go away. And as usual, it ends up in somebody else's paddock. Now, usually, you just pick them up like this.
Robbie will take the bird back to his property, where he's expecting the emu's arrival to ruffle a few feathers.